Hello, Joe.
Hiya.
um, how did you feel about opening the box and discovering the things that were in there?
Really strange. I remembered the items I put in, or most of them anyway, but I don't remember a lot of the stuff that I wrote. And I think my attitudes about things have changed quite a bit. I understand more about what I wanted then wasn't really what I wanted. It was just me trying to escape what I didn't like in my life, really.
Okay. Um, and what was it like? I mean, obviously you weren't there for the group meeting, but what was it like? Kind of. Did you watch the videos back on YouTube of the other people?
Yeah, I watched the videos, and it's quite strange seeing people that I knew but I didn't know anymore and hearing things they were saying. And some of it brought back an awful lot of memories.
Yeah.
And a bit sad that I didn't get to open it with everyone else, so I opened it with my daughter instead because she was quite interested in, what life was like 20 odd years ago, because, that's ancient times to her. So it was quite strange. But the stuff I put in there, she really likes. And I was quite surprised at that because I thought it'd be things she'd just sort of roll her eyes at. But she hasn't. So it's quite weird.
What kind of things?
I put in some sort of very 60s blue tinted glasses. And a bead necklace, which is bizarre because I don't seem to remember myself liking this kind of stuff. I just remember sort of all sort of grunge music that I used to listen to and wearing a lot of black. And I knew I'd put these in, but for the life of me, I can't remember why. They just didn't seem important.
Yeah. It's weird. My memory of opening the box before we opened the box was that I knew there was those sunglasses and that beaded necklace in there. So it wasn't really a surprise to see them, but it was quite nice to see them.
Yeah.
How, as 20 years have passed, have things worked out how you expected?
No, looking at my little cards, I put that I want to travel. I seem to remember vaguely wanting to be a traveller for some reason. But now that seems really bizarre because the thing I hated most about my life at the time was that we moved around so much. So 3 years was the longest we'd ever stayed in one place. And since I've left home, I moved down to Somerset and I'm still in the same house now that I was all those years ago. So I've been in this house for about 17 years now.
Wow.
It seems really strange. I think I never liked being in Lancashire. I never felt like it was my home. And I enjoyed the people I knew up there and, the activities I did with the Double Ridge Club, but I never wanted to live there. So I think me saying I wanted to be a traveller was just more me saying I didn't want to be where I was.
Okay.
So it's a bit strange. But then the things I wanted to be happy and have a good job. I don't think I want any kids. My daughter has still not forgiven me for. I've written something in runes as well. At the time I could read runes absolutely fluently, but now I can't actually read what it says. I need to look it up. But just some of the things I've written, like, I want to be a tree. I know I was just taking a mickey when I wrote it, but that's the kind of thing my daughter would say. I've mentioned that I want to be near my friends and my sister. Well, we kind of drifted apart. I don't really get to see my sister very much. And the sister that I absolutely hated when we did this, I'm actually quite close to now.
Right.
So I remember being paranoid about 1984 scenarios, and that hasn't changed very much.
You're still a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, well, not really a conspiracy theorist, but understanding that the things we're told aren't necessarily the way things actually are, and wanting to research things and understand things to the best of my ability. And I'm trying to instill that in my own children. But as soon as I try and shove the copy of George Orwell at them, they're like, no, no. I know they'll read it eventually because they're both quite good readers, but, you know, for now I'll just let them find their own way.
So when you read through your stuff, did the Joe from back then seem familiar to Joe now?
Vaguely. I think I wanted very different things back then. But if anything, the things I want in life now are more the sort of things I wanted when I was younger than when I did this box. So I don't think I really knew what I wanted when I was 18.
Sure.
You know,
Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say that most of my life now, I seem to just sort of chug along, and if I want to do something, I'll sort of aim in that direction. Whereas when I was 18, I knew exactly what I wanted, and
Sure.
I didn't have a clue at all.
If you were to make another time capsule now, what kind of things do you think you'd put in there?
I'd put in photos of my children, probably a maths textbook. I'm studying maths at the moment, so, you know, it's something I care a lot about, but I know a lot of people are quite anti-maths, but for me, I enjoy teaching people and helping them understand it's not quite as scary as they think it is. So I'd probably put that in. Maybe a few of my favourite recipes. I've got a few recipes that I want to pass on to my children as they get older. They're the sort of ones that I've learnt from my grandmother, or my granny. So that's the sort of thing I think I'd leave in now, but not really any physical items. I don't seem to mind so much about having stuff now, whereas before, you know, I liked to have lots of things, and now that it just doesn't seem important anymore.